My name is Mary Cooper, and I created my movie on an animal that is unique to North America and can be observed naturally throughout Alabama. This movie is on the Meleagris gallopavo, commonly known as the wild turkey. The hierarchical classification for the wild turkey is as follows. Their domain is Eukarya, kingdom Animalia, phylum Chordata, class Aves, order Galliformes, family Phasianidae, subfamily Melagridinae, genus Meleagris, and species Gallopavo. There are 5 subspecies of the wild turkey in North America. They are very similar, with the only differences being their size and coloration, which is dependent on where they are located. Generally, wild turkey feathers are dark brown and black in color. They have distinct white and light brown bands that go across individual feathers. Turkeys have bald heads, caruncles, which are fleshy bumps that cover their head and neck, and a wattle, which is a section of extra skin that hangs from their neck. Like many other organisms, turkeys exhibit sexual dimorphism, meaning that there are physical differences between the males and females. Adult male turkeys, known as toms or gobblers, generally weigh between 11 to 24 pounds and are 39 to 49 inches long. Their featherless heads can be red, white, or blue. They have a piece of skin that hangs from the top of their beak called a snood, a patch of hair-like feathers called a beard that grows from their chest, and sharp spurs on the back of their legs. The male turkey boasts vibrant iridescent feathers that can be brown, bronze, and metallic green. Toms also have long tail feathers that they can fan out to display dominance. Female turkeys, called hens, typically weigh between 5 to 12 pounds and are 30 to 37 inches long. Female turkeys have a gray head and feathers on their necks. Their wattle and caruncles are smaller and less pronounced. The feathers of hens mostly consist of dull browns and grays. Wild turkeys spend most of their time walking in search of food, but they can also fly short distances and run. Turkeys can run at speeds up to 25 miles per hour and can fly at 55 miles per hour. Turkeys are omnivores. For the most part, they eat plants, seeds, and berries. At times, they will eat small animals and reptiles too. Wild turkeys are generalists, meaning they will eat any food source that is available in the many different environments that they can live in. Although turkeys occasionally eat small animals and reptiles, they are generally known to be prey in the food web. They are a food source for many larger animals. Wild turkeys are found in North America and can be spotted in 49 states in the U.S. Although they can be seen throughout the United States, most of the wild turkey population lives in the eastern and central areas of the country. Turkeys like to live in coniferous and hardwood forests that have sporadic open areas for them to feed. A vital adaptation for a wild turkey's survival is its ability to camouflage into its environment. The dark browns and blacks of their plumage allows them to blend in with their surroundings. Hens and young turkeys called poults especially benefit from this adaptation because they are vulnerable when nesting and during the first months of a poult's life. The breeding season for wild turkeys takes place in the spring. Once bred, hens will build a shallow nest in the ground in a secluded place. Hens can only lay 1 egg per day and will lay around 9 to 12 eggs. During this time, she will only go to the nest to lay her egg, and the rest of her time will be spent feeding. After all her eggs have been laid, the incubation period begins, and she will rarely get up and leave her nest for the next 26 to 28 days. Newly hatched turkeys will leave the nest with their mother within the first 24 hours of their lives. Hens raise juvenile turkeys without the help of gobblers, but it is not uncommon to see multiple hens and their young form flocks. Immature male and female turkeys are called jakes and jennies. They are smaller in size than mature gobblers and hens. Wild turkeys can live up to 5 years in the wild, but they normally have a lifespan between 3 to 5 years. Turkeys like to live in flocks. In the non-breeding season, hens and their young will form groups, and jakes and toms will form separate bachelor groups. Turkeys will flock in groups up to 20 birds. Around the time of their breeding season, flocks will break up. Although turkeys do court in groups, it is not uncommon for toms and hens to go off on their own during this time. Gobblers court and attract hens by strutting. When gobblers strut, they fan out their tail feathers and puff out their chest. Their heads turn bright blue or white, and their caruncles and snoods will swell up and turn bright red. When strutting, they make a variety of sounds like spitting, drumming, and gobbling to get the attention of hens. Turkeys are diurnal. They spend most of the day walking, searching for food, and at night they roost in trees to protect themselves from predators while they sleep. In cold weather, turkeys will fluff out their feathers to create insulation and keep their body heat in. They will also tuck their heads beneath their back feathers to keep their featherless heads warm. Turkeys will often roost in denser areas to protect themselves from wind. The wild turkey's main form of defense are its sharp spurs. They use their spurs to defend themselves by slashing at other animals that pose a threat. Wild turkeys have many natural predators. Some natural predators of turkeys include coyotes, bobcats, hawks, and great horned owls. Turkeys will avoid predators and stay hidden with their hearing, eyesight, and camouflage feathers. Turkeys can see in color vision and have a 270-degree field of vision. They are capable of deciphering sounds up to a mile away, and the browns and blacks of their plumage help to keep them hidden. When they do encounter a predator, they will fight or escape by running or flying away. Wild turkeys are not an endangered species now, but at one point in time their population was considerably low. In the early 1900s, the wild turkey population dwindled to an estimated 30,000 birds due to overhunting and logging. Decades before the Endangered Species Act was passed, conservationists like Theodore Roosevelt and George Bird Grinnell urged our government to protect and recover the wild turkey population. Policies were put in place to protect turkey habitats, to create protected areas, and to prevent overhunting. By the early 1950s, the population of wild turkeys had risen to an estimated 320,000, and by continued preservation of habitats and enforcement of protection laws, the population of turkeys today is estimated to be 7 million. Wild turkeys are a beautiful and unique bird of America. I chose to do my animal movie on the wild turkey because they can be found in the wild in my home state. To me, wild turkeys are an exceptional example of the magnificence of the natural world of North America.